My name is Holly Zoller, and I'm the President, CEO of the Carmel Foundation. Welcome to our 2021 virtual annual meeting. Last year at this time, we were looking forward to celebrating our 70th birthday at our 2020 annual meeting. We had planned a big party to go along with the presentation, but sadly, the COVID-19 pandemic prevented us from doing so. Safety was and continues to be our utmost concern. So here we are a year later, and instead of the in-person annual meeting that we had hoped for, we are presenting it online so you can enjoy it in the safety of your home. As you can imagine, it was a tough year, but despite the campus being closed for 15 long months, I am proud to say that we were able to continue providing vital services to our members, services that were more crucial than ever. Amazingly enough, despite the challenges, I truly consider this last year to have been a very successful one for the Carmel Foundation. Over this past year, the Foundation's program directors were tasked with finding ways to provide services to our members while also being fiscally responsible. Everyone at the Carmel Foundation wanted to make sure that after 71 years of existence, we would be here for 71 more. So here to illustrate the ways in which they were able to think outside of the box and find creative ways to reach our members during these unprecedented times, the Carmel Foundation's program directors are happy to present with you the successful ways they touched and enhanced the lives of those we hold dear. You.
Hi, I'm Melissa McKenzie, Director of Programs and Volunteer Services at the Carmel Foundation. What an unprecedented year 2020 was. Just as you were faced with challenges on the home front, we too faced the daunting task of continuing to nourish your minds, bodies, and souls, all while our doors were closed. Not knowing how long we would be closed, we had to get creative. At the beginning of the pandemic, our member services team made friendly calls to 3,508 members. And more than 60% of Foundation classes continued either virtually or were safely socially distanced outdoors. We hosted a virtual book club and happy hour, and discussion groups continued to meet via Zoom. It was amazing to hear how many of you stayed connected, all from the comfort of home. With a lot of planning, we reinvented the luncheon program to include the Curbside to Go program. Online sales skyrocketed during our closure, and Kelly and Chloe worked tirelessly the entire time we were closed with preparing delicious soups and entrees and desserts for our members. And there is not a day that goes by without you telling us how much this program continues to mean to you. While we were closed, Kelly and Chloe prepared 11,887 curbside meals to go, and to put that into perspective, that is equivalent to 1,486 pies and 680 gallons of soup. We continued traditional holiday meals during our closure in grand style. Our local students from Carmel River School created art for our holiday meals too. And this year, 150 Thanksgiving meals and 133 Christmas dinner meals with all of the trimmings were picked up right here on the corner of 8th and Lincoln. 44 individual households ordered homebound meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and all of these holiday meals were lovingly delivered by our very own Carmel by the Sea Host Lions Club. And we had a lot of fun getting creative and preparing New Year's Eve party in a box and Cupid in a bag orders for pickup too. Carmel Gives generously donated the funds for us to expand our outdoor seating. This opportunity allows more members to eat outdoors and to engage in programs in the safety of an outdoor environment. We are grateful for the benevolence that Carmel Gives has shown the Carmel Foundation. And last but certainly not least, this spring we polled almost 2,500 members in the 65 and older age range and created a call bank and appointment line for our first COVID-19 vaccination clinic. We held 2 clinics right here in Diment Hall, and truly the Foundation shined on these days. I can still see the smiles behind the masks as our members lined up to be vaccinated with the Moderna vaccine. And together with our amazing community partner, the VNA, 371 members, including foundation staff, were vaccinated in 6 hours. We could not have done it without the help from the City of Carmel by the Sea and local volunteers with the Community Emergency Response Team to assist with traffic control. And we received many accolades from happy members expressing the ease of the clinic and how safe they felt the experience was. It was an organizational milestone for the foundation and a day that went down in our history books.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leticia Garcia, Director of Support Services. So even with the pandemic in place, the Carmel Foundation's doors being closed, we got creative, remained calm, and continue staying in touch with our members. So here's what we did. Every day, we responded to all of our phone calls. Every week, we managed to coordinate drivers, pack and deliver meals to our homebound members. At least once a week, we assisted frail members with some sort of mobility device. At least once a month, we worked with our volunteers and presenters to record Wednesday programs. As we do it annually, we interviewed 49 residents to recertify them for the low-income housing programs. So how did we do all this if the Carmel Foundation's doors were closed? We became essential, and essentially, we reinvented ways of working more productively and efficiently. Although some of our programs were put on hold, like the Friendly Visitor Program, respite, and in-home care visits, notary, and new housing applications, we made sure we used our time more productively and efficiently. So here's how we did it. All of our in-person communication shifted virtually to all electronics. Simply put, we relied heavily on phone calls, voice messages, emails, text, thoughts, and Zoom meetings. This year alone, we assisted a little over 2014 phone calls altogether. And for the first time ever, we were working any which way we could from wherever we could. For the residents, we created an emergency communications tree to be able to pass on information as quickly as possible. For the housing program, we managed to coordinate rent reviews via regular mail, via phone, via fax, and through the window, believe it or not. We even welcomed 2 new residents. For the homebound meal program, we revamped it to reach out more individuals to include seaside and marina areas. In addition, we increased the number of meals that members could order, making it possible for them to have enough food for the week. And with these changes in place, we managed to pack and deliver 6,246 meals. That's an average of 120 meals per week. In essence, 1,704 more meals were prepared, packaged, and delivered. Overall, 852 happy campers received their meals at home. Rain or shine, windy or stormy, we were definitely packing meals. Also, thanks to the generous donation from Dawn's Dream Winery and staff from the Carmel Foundation, several residents and homebound members received a special goodie bag that included toilet paper, crossword puzzles, and a bottle of wine. You heard it right. Toilet paper and a bottle of wine. Somehow we got into the business of buying and delivering toilet paper too. And of course, we couldn't have done any of this without the help of our volunteer drivers, who every Wednesday morning, whether driving in a sunny or rainy day, they showed up to deliver these meals. Thank you, David, Ken, Nancy, Fred, and Jack for making this possible. On another note, we're proud to say that with our new and improved mobility equipment loan program, we made 56 people happy. How do we do that? By saving them money. You heard it right. We save money. With this program, members can borrow free medical equipment at no cost to them. Who knew? Lastly, the biggest program of them all in terms of group gathering, our mega event Wednesday program, was also suspended in March 2020. Since then, we had to cancel well over 8 months worth of programming, and we had to rethink how we were going to bring this program back. Lucky for us, we were already working with David Thon, who already volunteered at the tech center. David turned out to be a fine expert in audio and video equipment, and with his assistance, we began to schedule and record on-site presentations since October of 2020. Since then, David has set up the Carmel Foundation with a YouTube channel and has donated his time to record and upload these programs. This year so far, we have recorded 10 different presentations with well over 3,195 views. Thank you everyone for supporting and hopefully enjoying these programs. Picture here is Tom Diggins as he's recording his presentation. Thank you, David, again for allowing us to use your equipment to film these programs. And with that said, we are honored to continue being part of the Carmel Foundation's team of helping you whenever you need us.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Willison, Director of Development for the Carmel Foundation. Because of the pandemic, we knew that this past fiscal year would be financially challenging. There were so many unknowns, not just for us, but for everybody. Would our members renew their membership in unknown times? What would happen to our fundraising events? Would local businesses, if still afloat, be able to support us in ways they have in the past? Would foundations still be able to grant monies? While our crystal ball has been foggy at best, we knew we had to have enough irons in the fire to have adequate funding to support the vital services you've heard about today. We had to pivot, to think outside the box, and to leave no stone unturned. The gala, which had traditionally been our largest fundraiser, was no longer a possibility during the pandemic. Rather than abandon the effort, we shifted gears and offered a virtual auction during the holidays that was so successful, we beat our budget by 49%, we decided to do it again this year. Other events, like Concours on the Avenue, were also canceled for the past fiscal year. Even without the event in 2020, the foundation received more than $10,000 from the generous collector car community. We hunted and pecked for any and all grant opportunities, both new and old. Numerous applications were submitted, resulting in more than $270,000 in grant monies. But what has humbled the team at the foundation is our members. While we typically receive approximately $250,000 from membership, in the last fiscal year, almost $215,000 was attributed to renewals. Even though our campus doors were closed, most of you chose to renew your membership. In addition, while we didn't mail our traditional Giving from the Heart mailing, we did send a letter asking for member support. Members responded in the spirit of neighborliness through a collective donation of almost $55,000. Sadly, a number of local nonprofits were not able to survive the pandemic, but because of your generosity and the generosity of other individuals, businesses, and foundations in our community, the Carmel Foundation has been able to provide reinvented, meaningful, and vital services for members. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, our fiscal year runs July 1st through June 30th, so this annual report covers the 2020 to 2021 fiscal year. Budget planning begins months in advance, and it was just shortly after the shelter-in-place order in March of 2020 that we had to begin the arduous process. We had no idea what the future held, and as you can imagine, creating a sound budget on the unknown was nearly impossible. That said, every director rose to the occasion, cutting costs wherever they could, and after 8 long weeks and multiple versions, what we called a bare bones budget was approved by the board. Now, looking at this last year from an income perspective, we did better than expected. The foundation did a fantastic job of garnering grants, which came in 138% above budget. Another highlight was that we were able to obtain an SBA PPP loan, and it was forgiven. From an expense perspective, we did better than expected as well. Operational expenses decreased by 11.5%, and the overall budget represented a 16.23% decrease, both as compared to the prior year. We were relieved that we did not have any major repairs or maintenance during the year at the apartments or the foundation, which was very significant in this COVID year. For the full financial rundown, please check out our annual report, which is posted as a link on the front page of our website. I think you'll like what you see. In closing, I would like to share with you a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. "Far and away the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." We feel strongly that our work here at the Carmel Foundation is worth doing, and working harder than ever this last year was very gratifying. The unknown was daunting. Having the foundation campus actually closed for the first time in 71 years was daunting. But even though we had entered uncharted territory, we learned a valuable lesson. We can pivot. We don't have to do the same things we did yesterday, or the day before, or the year before. We have the ability and the creativity to provide meaningful programs and support to meet the needs of our members today. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we will continue to care for our members in any way that we can. There is not a question in our minds. We will be here for 71 more years because this is most definitely work worth doing.